Hi guys, look who it is. We are with Bike. Just to run through a couple of things with you lot. You might have noticed by the music. Oh, they're not in Volta. I'm carrying too much as well. Why am I carrying too much? I wasn't when I saved the game, anyway. Yeah, this is the halls of the Aesir. I've walked in. I've got to the end. Well, I didn't really. I wanted just to have a playthrough of... I need to drop some stuff quickly before I... I'm not carrying too much. What's it on about? Let's rejig this. Yeah, there we are. Weird game. Anyway, yes, I basically wanted to have a look at the halls of the Aesir because when I first came in, I hadn't watched anything about it. So I was in here completely blind, just to, you know, not spoil anything for myself. I got in and got absolutely destroyed in the first room by those ghosties. So, while we were on a break from the hike, I've come back and seeing what I could do, and basically I had to toggle on God mode, and for most of it I had to toggle the clipping off as well and just go through a load of walls. It's not the best dungeon, I have to say. The layout isn't... you know, there are genius bits of it. This bit I love. Oops. Anyway, I'll stop showing that bit off. Yeah, it's got some great little touches, great ideas. The puzzle parts are good, but they just need a bit of a tweak. A few of the riddles could be answered in several ways, which is always bad in a riddle. It's got to be, you know, obvious. Well, not obvious, but you can't have two things that would equal the same thing. And there were just the enemies in it were just all those ghosts. There were so many of them, and they were so powerful. You'd have to be a really high level, and it would just be a grind. And I watched some videos of other people going through it as well, and it just didn't seem fun to me. It's not laid out like you would like you would expect in a nice, fun dungeon. Even you could still leave it as quite difficult, but it felt difficult in the way like the last levels of Space Invader are, when you just get a million enemies and you just got to be lucky and get your timing right. You know, the difficulty here isn't in being more skillful or having better gear, it's just grinding through a million enemies and making sure you're level 40, which I don't like in a Skyrim playthrough really. And there were so many enemies that at one point the game would just crash and it would lag and stutter like crazy, and that was without recording anything. Also, it is completely reliant on lots of notes. Oops, which I just picked that up accidentally, oh well. And I'm keeping to the thing that Bahite can't read, and that alternate actors mod just isn't functional enough to bring someone in here with me, get them to read stuff. It would be a pain to edit. Also, I don't think anyone would survive coming through here anyway. There's lots of swimming bits that you've got to get through quickly, and it felt more like a level of Mario in some stages where you're just diving around. But anyway, I wanted to go and have a look at the armour, and I've done that. I've looted it all. I've decided precisely what armour I would like the hike to be wearing, and I will show you now. I have favourited most of it. We will have the... Where are we? I'm going to keep my War Chief boots on and the War Chief gloves, which he doesn't have yet. I haven't found those yet, but this was me playing around instead of the Aesir boots and Aesir gauntlets, which are heavy armour. But the add-ons still work without having these equipped, which is cool. And on the gloves, where is it? Claws. That works as well, and it does come on there if you wear certain armour. So if I switch to, say, scaled horn armour, well, it worked before anyway, it's kind of a bit of tricking around with it, and eventually you can... I don't want them. Scaled braces? No, it was... Where are they? Where are they gone? Light grips, there they are. Am I on the horned armour? I am. Well, eventually play around with it enough and they'll display on these gauntlets rather than the Aesir ones. See, they're not even displaying on the Aesir ones now, which is weird. It's something to do with wearing different armours. There they are, they display now. Put that on, they go away again. Weird. Anyway, but I did get it working. I promise. Right, so what else would it be? The Aesir Adventurer's Belt, Adventurer's Satchel, the Backpack, the couple of pauldrons, some fur. Where's the saber fur? Backpack brown, I did have it favourited. Aesir. Oh, it's got there now. Sure, I had the saber fur favourited. I do. Not displaying for some reason. Anyway, that on as well. And why is this thing not working now? I promise I had it working. Let's just put on the gauntlets for now, and then this armour. Oh well. It was working. I'm sure I can tweak it a bit more and get it to display. I'm not going to use the under armour pieces because they're heavy armour. I can mod them to be light armour, but I need a few extra stages to make that compatible then with the reprocker from Skyrim. But I think this looks a bit better anyway. The what was it? The War Chief gauntlets and boots. But yes. But if I'm not doing the dungeon, here's what I wanted to run past you guys. I won't be going through the dungeon. How am I going to get this stuff and not just add it to myself through the console? And I think what I'll do is, because as you know I'm making the mod, I'll add one bit of armour to each of the conquered territories. So I could add one in Voltime and then a few in... There's the one I had, Veterans... No, it was a Halted Stream Camp was mine. So the ones I start editing, I'll just add it there. And when I go around clearing the rest of the bandits out just to clear it all, I'll add myself an extra bit of armour as a reward. So I just wanted to run that past you guys, just to let you know that I am thinking of the hike. And you can hear these guys yammering away over here, just to prove I have been doing the mod. Loyal bandits!
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Highwaymen, thugs, plunderers. I've just basically copied all the bandits now. At whatever levels they come out, so thugs, outlaws,
Yes?
the lowest ones. The only thing left is... So I could spawn individual bandits through the console. But... Ooh, Viking Heaven. Where did that come from? Don't know. It's just to get them into the levelled lists and then add them to dungeons. I've got to do lots more editing and making sure I get it all set up correctly. So still a ways to go, and then we can finish off the various locations, but it's getting there. And it should be ready by the time we've done the first part of the Magruk playthrough. So there we are. Speaking of the Magruk playthrough, here is Magruk. And if you've watched the latest Skyrim episode entitled "'Tis the Season", you'll know I had a request for a transport option for Magruk, and I mentioned that I would be testing out a certain mod. Well, look at that! That is the Dev Aveza skyship. And I have been testing it out. You don't find it in Markov. I've just flown it here from where you do find it. And I am in love with it. It's brilliant and it suits Magruk. Well, I was about to say suits him down to the ground, but it suits him up to the sky. And here we are on the thing. And it is follower compatible. You need to kind of do the whole weapon draw thing to get Teldrin up here. But he's quite happy wandering around up here as well. And I've been flying it around and it's been incredible. I love this thing. But it's a bit laggy now I'm recording. Yeah, I need to tweak a few settings with that because I've been having a bit of trouble. Especially around cities and things. There's quite a lot going on around here. Anyway. Yeah, I just don't know how to incorporate this into Magruk's story. So that was the next thing I wanted to ask you guys. Is how should Magruk earn this ship? And while we think about that, let's fly it around a bit. So we're now in fly mode. And off we go. Hey, you can see you can see Teldrin jumping up and down there. There are a few glitches and things with this. He'll fall off at any given moment. He'll be fine. He doesn't mind. But it's just incredible flying around on this thing. To get from here to Whiterun is about 5 minutes, I think. And, you know, if I don't need a carriage or I don't feel like taking a horse, I don't think Magruk's really a horse riding kind of person anyway. But this is incredible. Absolutely brilliant. But it's not the kind of thing Magruk would have at the current level. He's a novice wizard at best. He hasn't even been in a Dwemer ruin, let alone have the know-how to find or create this. But I want it. We can just come to a stop in midair and... here we are, back on the deck, running around. Teldrin didn't fall off, it's all good. Oh, it's so cool. Shall I show you? Ah, might as well show you below deck as well. This is, it's got several options in the mod. This is the full cabin option, which is bigger than the other two. I like the other two. One of them's very much a more standard ship layout. The first one is more sort of slightly more magey, a bit more dwarven. This one really is very, very dwarven and very shippy at the same time. But it's a lot bigger, but still it seems the same size as the sort of the full hull of the ship itself. Got lovely little secret rooms and stuff. Chests in there. And a lovely map here that you can actually take this to Solstone, which is a great touch. But yeah, definitely fully in love with this. Look, we can go downstairs. We've got a little cooking pot. Full smithy, dwarven style smithy. Incredible. There's even a valve. It doesn't do anything. Well, I haven't worked out what it does yet. But there's a valve. Bedrooms for followers. Again, the only way followers can come in is by using the amazing follower tweak to catch up on weapon draw thing. Yeah, there's a few things it's had to compromise on because of just the complexity of the scripting and moving a flying player home. This is basically an outside world space, so the lighting is a bit funky as well. At night time it's dark in here, and then if the sun's out it's really bright. I think there's something wrong with some of my lighting mods as well, because it all looks a bit washed out. Same as when I was running around in Markarth just testing some other bits and pieces. But anyway, let's go back upstairs, back outside. Here we are on the deck again. So yeah, in certain lighting conditions it looks good, but the textures, a few of them are quite iffy. Like, that's not so bad, that's quite bad, and the steps here are atrocious, but that's because I'm on a few sort of medium-ish texture settings, and there are mods you can get that improve the ship textures. but I don't really want to alter all of the ships in Skyrim as well. So it's something just to put up with, I think. And then you've got a plank here that basically you can lower that onto anything that you can park next to. And it kind of physics its way down. Nothing to land on at the moment. And there's a ladder the other side, a rope ladder that just lowers you down anywhere you want. It's getting a bit foggy. That's the other thing, flying this around, when the weather changes, you are screwed. You can't see a thing. You've just got to kind of fly low, stop and hope for the best, really. Which is, you know, it's as it would be. But it's incredible, I love it. And you can fly it around and still run around on the deck while flying it, which is a great thing as well. I'll show you at some point. So my question to you guys is, have you got any ideas as how to Magruk can earn or acquire a ship such as this? Incredible thing here. You find it from installing the mod in whichever direction Solitude is now in. That way over the cloud somewhere. Just down there, is it? Somewhere here. It's part next to Solitude. So if you guys have got any ideas, such as, you know, when I become Arch Mage, I can go get the boat, or is there any sort of dwarven dungeons that have got anything shipbuilding mentioned that could potentially give me a reason to go and find this or acquire it? You know, think of a way to incorporate it within Magruk's story. Very keen to hear some ideas, because I haven't really thought of many myself. Yeah. I might give a video fully showing this. Is that something you would like to see from me as well? Mod review videos. I'd stick to Skyrim, because otherwise I'd be here forever doing it for all of the games I like to play. But I would love to show this one off, so if you'd like to see me do some mod review videos, considering my Skyrim playthrough is, well, you've seen the mod list in the description, it's huge. If you want to know anything more about the mods, I could do a sort of a mini weekly series, something like that. Something to think about anyway. Let me know. Cheers, guys.